Hi guys, how are you all doing? It is now 11 p.m. and I'm going to do a TA on VeChain. If you guys love these videos, I'd really appreciate an upvote on steemit, and make sure you also like, subscribe, and share to all this stuff on YouTube and on Twitter. So this is now the fourth time I've remade this video because I just cannot contain my jokes, which are a little bit inappropriate sometimes. And as the serious and professional daytime trader, or sorry, day trader that I am, I gotta make sure I maintain some level of professionalism, right? But I hope you guys understand why I make a lot of jokes. It's because, well, I don't really get out a lot, right? And I'm always isolated by working at home a lot, and I'm like, got this massive addiction. So because I don't get out a lot and I don't see a lot of people, and I'd rather keep to my habits and my addiction here at home, I'm always alone. So I gotta make sure I find ways to entertain myself. So I gotta make sure I play with myself once in a while, right? And joke around. I didn't mean it like that, like play with my, you guys have a really dirty mind. I bet you a lot of you were thinking of something like that, but it's not what I meant at all. I just meant so like play around with myself, like joke around and stuff and have fun, right? That's more so what I meant, just to be really clear, okay? So now we're gonna do an analysis on VeChain. So just makes me want to get a cheese string so bad, guys. Remember growing up with a cheese string? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Cheese string, you make my heart sing, you make everything groove it. You know that commercial? I'm sure every kid had cheese string growing up, right? Cheese string was like the best thing in the world. So anyways, let's talk about VeChain. Now, I'm going to do a risk to reward scenario for everybody as well. I'm just checking the price of Bitcoin there. Okay, Bitcoin's pretty good right now. All right, so we're going to do a quick Elliott wave count from what we see right here, and we are going to go from there after that. Let's go to daily chart first of all, just to make sure we're on the same page here. So the Elliott wave count was actually very easy to nail. And if you guys remember from my prediction videos on VeChain, where I was talking about a possible correction target to, first of all, 53,000 Satoshi, and then my next target was around, you guys didn't want to hear that, but it was actually around the, about the 38,000 range, I believe, right? Around the 38,000 range is where I targeted there, I think. So we have now officially hit my target, okay? And I'm just going to bring it up for the people that haven't seen it yet, what I was talking about here. Okay, I'm just looking for VeChain here. Give me a second. So a lot of people thought that I was kind of crazy for thinking this, believe it or not. Okay, really? A lot of people thought that I was crazy for writing this, that the target correction is 36 to 53K, okay? This is only my target 1 correction right here, 53K. My target 2 correction still stands about 36K, but we'll see if we can get there. Now, when we do an Elliott wave count here, all right? So first of all, how did I know it was going to get to about 53K? Did you guys wonder that? I'm going to teach you guys how this correction target was very easy to nail. It actually got to this low right there, if you guys see. It got to 55,600 Satoshi, right? And my target was 53,000 Satoshi. Hurrah! We actually nailed it. I mean, it's not bad when you guys think about it, right? I mean, I'm off by 3,000 Satoshi. That is pretty darn good, wouldn't you say? I'd say it's pretty darn good. So now let's talk about this right here and what is going on. I see this right here as a massive sloped support line, right? And we should see it that way as well. Now, if I can count myself 5 waves right here, then I should be able to count 5 subwaves coming down here as well, is the logic. If there's 5 waves going up like that for the last impulse wave for wave 5, then I most likely count this as 5 waves as well coming down here, right? We're taking the major peaks right here. So let's take a look at this together right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So we have to accept the fact that in leveraged markets, no problem at all with this overlapping, all right? No problem at all when it comes to cryptocurrency, guys. Barely though, okay? Just only accepted by a wick. That is your rule on a high time frame, all right? Now, what I love about this pattern right here, now that we've basically confirmed that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up both ways, what I will automatically assume is this right here, guys, okay? I will automatically assume that this will be A, B, C, something like that, and who knows where that will be. Most likely down. Channels don't hold forever, guys, okay? Now, a very reasonable target for B is this right here. Just a general guideline for a B, I always target roughly 0.5, okay? This is too conservative at 382 level. 618 is too aggressive for me, so I choose a very medium approach between conservative and aggressive. So I would choose this target right there, and who knows where this one's going to be. We'll worry about that later. So what we notice right here is this. This might even be higher. You never know, right? It might even be something like that. But what we need to acknowledge is that this right here is a head and shoulders pattern that's starting to develop. I'd say head and shoulder patterns in Elliott waves are my favorite patterns to play because they're incredibly easy to spot and they're very profitable to play, guys. They're super profitable to play, right? So what a lot of people do at the end of the day when this forms is they play the breakout, right? If C bounces there, boom, wicked, we get another wave up. If it breaks through, boom, we short, and then we target a rough area right here. Right here, where wave 4 territory is, okay? This is how I'm getting my 36K. Interesting, right? Interesting. So now that we've got the head and shoulders pattern established here, we're planning ahead. Now we're going to talk about this right here. So what we clearly see right now is this, right? Would you guys agree with me that that is a beautiful thing happening right there, okay? Right? Isn't that awesome? It is reaching a critical apex point. Now, what I do for here, guys, is I do this, okay? I'm going to teach you guys how I play this situation and this circumstance, and I'll teach you guys how I do it very profitably, and nothing has changed in years, okay? So please remember what I'm saying. Whenever you see a critical line like that, a support line that is sloped, and you see basically the first A wave substructure coming down, you just be extremely patient. You be extremely patient, guys, and you wait for a breakout. That is what I do, okay? I wait for a breakout, and as soon as I get a successful close above it, and a successful close to me is like this. I'm just going to emphasize, I'm just going to be a little hyperbolic and embellish the size of this candle, okay? So I'm going to use something like that right there. That's a little bit exaggerated, right? That's okay though. So just think of it like that, right? This is my favorite kind of, if you guys have seen my candlestick tutorial videos, this is what we call a break above with a confirmation to reject the bears. So what this psychology basically means is that we close above it, the bears tried to actually push it back down, but they fail. And because they fail, the bulls actually push it all the way back up. And that's all that I do, guys, right? I wait for a confirmation to close above, and then I go long. And then boom, we target ourselves a decent Fibonacci level. So now we do have a play coming up, okay? And I will be listing a specific risk to reward scenario for you guys for this one, because I've been fairly on point with VEN, with ICX, with Bitcoin, with the only coins I haven't really been on point with is TRX and like I think Enigma lately. But then again, I'm not really putting a lot of effort into them. ICX, I'm on point with that guy. I feel like I'm in tune with that, and Stellar too. So and this one here, I'm definitely following up with it a lot as well. So if it breaks out of there, wicked. You guys can target it. You can target something like that maybe, right? The 0.5 to the 618 level. And then if it breaks down because we don't have the confirmation, no problem. Then you guys are not even gonna play that position right there, right? So now if it does break down though, then you guys might want to wait for a lower support line, right? Because then this whole channel is broken already, so it would make a lot of sense to wait until here. So either way, you're not really risking much. Now, let's say that you actually enter this position right here. Let's talk about a specific risk to reward scenario, okay? Let's say you entered it around 57 right there, and now you're going to target right here for a 20% gain, right? You're going to set your stop loss slightly below here. Well, that's a pretty good risk to reward ratio, wouldn't you say? 5.0. Let's go over a specific risk to reward scenario. Sorry, I pulled up the wrong one there. Let's go to a specific risk to reward scenario. Okay. So let's say for this one right here, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. All right, this will be good right here. So this one's got risk to reward. We'll say about 5, okay, 5 to 1. And I'm going to go over a very specific scenario with you guys as well. So you're going to enter roughly, I don't know, on breakout, we'll just say 57.5, okay, 57.5 or something like that. Whenever it breaks out, stop loss somewhere like at 5,500 ranges, okay, 5,500 ranges, about 4.5 risk to reward, we'll say then instead. So 4.5, your entry price is, you know, somewhere between, I don't know, 56K to 57.5K. That's up to you guys to figure out. And the target one will be roughly 67.5K Satoshi. And your stop loss is set at about 55K Satoshi. And then you have a chance to gain roughly 20% and a chance to lose about 4.35%. So let's put these inputs in here as well. 20% and about 4.5% there. Okay, so we got this criteria met in here, and let's talk about a flip a coin scenario. Okay, we're going to talk about risk to reward with a very specific scenario. Let's say you guys flip the coin, heads or tails, 10 times, all right, with this specific risk to reward scenario. So flip a coin scenario, okay, 10 games with 5 wins, 5 losses, okay, with RR 4.5 to 1. Now each win is equal to, say, $450 or so. We'll say $450. Each loss is equal to $100. This is what you call a risk to reward ratio, right? It could be 4,500 to 1,000. It could be 45 to 10. As long as it's a 4.5 risk to reward ratio, we're going to stick to this same ratio. If you guys are not familiar with my risk management video, I highly suggest that you guys brush up on it, because if you don't, you're going to end up falling behind in material to study. And if you guys don't know what risk management is, you probably shouldn't be trading, because you're just going to lose all your money if you don't know how to manage your money. It makes no sense to trade if you don't know how to manage your money. Trading is not just about entering a position and hoping for the best. Trading is about managing your money and knowing what to do and how to react at key critical times so you can shed your risk, so you can assume more risk, etc. So now we're going to say 50% win. Actually, we're even going to assume 40% win and 60% loss, which is 4 wins, 6 losses. So at 4 wins, at 450, well, what does that equal, right? 450 times 4 is $1,800. That's how much you profit. Now 6 losses at 100 is equal to $600. So total net profit is equal to 1,800 minus 600, which is equal to $1,200, right? So that is the math that it works out to. You flip a coin 10 times, okay, and you have a risk to reward ratio of 4.5 to 1. And your buddy says to you, hey, every time you're right, I will give you $450. But every time you lose, you have to give me $100. And we're just going to assume you're unlucky and you only have a 40% win rate and a 60% loss rate, okay? So out of all of those games, 4 wins out of 10 games, you will have won 450 450 at 4 games is 1,800, and then you lose 6 times at $100 each. That's $600. So your total net profit is obviously all of your wins minus all of your losses. So out of 10 games with a risk to reward ratio of 4.5 to 1, you are still going to make $1,200. And it is actually breaking out right now, so I am going to finish this video as fast as I possibly can right now. So if you ask yourself, should I take this trade? Well, if you took 10 of these exact trades, no matter what, with the exact same chance to win in terms of money wise, you guys are going to win over time no matter what. You got to remember that we try to trade like a casino, okay? We try to trade like a casino, and we take advantage of probability over time. And good traders, all professional traders, guys, we have win expectancy formulas that we crunch all day, and we manage our numbers. Risk, risk, risk is the most important thing to manage as a trader. And we focus on winning over time. We don't care about the tiny little losses that we make, okay? Last month, actually November, if you guys remember, where I kept my public track record, I had 2 losses, right? NEO and BCH. But then again, I won 19 trades that I had a public record for, right? So I'm wondering, do I really care about the 2 losses because I've actually won 20 trades or 19 trades already? No, we don't really care, guys, about the 2 losses. And as long as we learn how to manage our emotions and realize that trading is not a sprint, it is a marathon, we will be very successful over time, okay? So I want you guys to know that I'm going to take this trade myself. I'd be silly not to take it because based on my risk to reward ratio of 4.5 to 1, it's a great odds, right? Like great risk to assume, which is really not that much. I'm okay to lose 4.35% for a possible chance to gain 20%, but I will not enter it quite yet. I'm gonna wait for a little bit of a breakout more, maybe to about 58,000 Satoshi, okay? So in order to enter here, you must make sure, you have to make sure, guys, that it meets the criteria, first of all, of closing successfully outside of it. And I might even just do something like this, just to be sure, so you guys can understand it better. So it needs to break somewhere around there, okay? It needs to break at the most extreme points, and that's where I'm drawing it right here. Maybe a little bit lower, like right around there, perhaps, like right around here. So to enter this trade, you guys just cannot see this video and this setup and be like, oh yeah, he's writing a setup. No, it doesn't work like that. All my setups that I call out are only based on getting confirmation of an uptrend first, and that is up to you guys to take or not, or sorry, up to you guys to go through with it or not, right? And to confirm it or not. If you enter this trade right now, you're entering blind. You're literally entering blind and you're just taking a chance. So it's entirely up to you guys what you decide to do. I'm going to take this trade when it breaks out because I believe that the risk is worth the reward. And you always have to think about it from that perspective, that without risk, there's literally no possibility of reward, okay? And another reason why I'm interested in taking this coin as well is because of the 4-hour MACD. The 4-hour MACD is also bullishly diverging from my perspective right here. Check it out, right here. Bullishly diverging, right? Not only is it bullishly diverging, but I also see it curving up like that, guys. Check that guy out, right? Doesn't it just want to? Absolutely, I think it really does want to. So I'm extremely interested in this trade at the moment, and I will be following up on it for the next few days. And keep in mind, guys, that things are possible. You know, like a lot of people said I was crazy for thinking it would like hit 5,300. Guys, when you hit 5,500, yeah, we'll talk, you know, we'll talk when it gets to 38K ranges, all right? So I still expect some sort of correction like that, okay? Something like this, honestly. I'm sorry to say, guys, but I really do expect something to these ranges still down the road because I don't believe that a 382 retracement is really how it's gonna go. You know, like a 382 retracement? Nah, not gonna happen, guys. I'm sorry to say. Nothing is that bullish. Not even Bitcoin, not even EOS, not even IOTA, not even Ethereum. Nothing has ever really retraced to about 236 after all 5 subways have formed. Unless you guys think that a 236 or 382 level is acceptable as a retracement, okay, then go long for a long time, guys. But from my personal and professional experience, yeah, you don't really get anything that bullish unless it like cured cancer, right? I apologize for using that analogy, but I'm saying that like nothing will ever be that bullish unless they made some sort of announcement where it cured cancer, okay? VeChain is nothing spectacular fundamentally from what I know. So, well, okay, I take that back. I apologize for saying that. I don't know anything about VeChain fundamentally, is what I meant to say. But what I was going to say is that fundamentally, I really doubt that anything majorly groundbreaking has come up recently where it's going to keep it that bullish to the 236 or 382 level, right? So you have to assume maybe a typical retracement like between 0.5 or 618 or even more. So right now, as it stands, I firmly believe that this A is in play right now, and we are about to make our way to the B range. So you guys have to draw these trendline resistances of yours in here, okay? Draw these trendline resistances. Please draw them in, like how I'm drawing them in. And if it breaks out of here up, then you enter it. You don't enter it blindly first. If you guys enter this trade, right, and it actually breaks down, and then you decide to comment something like, oh, it actually broke down and I entered the trade. I'm just gonna laugh at you guys because I've said 3 times in this video that you have to make sure you wait for confirmation of it breaking out of there. But there's no doubt in my mind that this is apexing. Now, there's no guarantee that it's gonna break out of there, okay? Who knows? We might get extended 5th wave correction down here before A starts. But there's a very likely chance that it's going to break up, in my opinion. If it doesn't, big whoop did he do. You guys never entered a trade, you're staying extremely cautious, and now you're waiting for the next buy zone down over here for a bounce. So it's okay. In my opinion, it's a win-win, right? So anyways, I just wanted to go over VeChain with you guys really quickly. Whoa, I was actually really serious. I'm really proud of myself for staying really serious. Now, one last thing I want to mention, okay guys? So please take note of this right now. Bitcoin is doing this right here. Look. Bitcoin is doing this right now, all right? And if you guys notice on here, Bitcoin likes to show just the tip many times. Oh, I did not mean it like, yeah, I did mean it. Who am I kidding? Bitcoin is just showing the tips right there, all right? And because it's showing just the tips, we got a rejection candle already right here. Now, if Bitcoin decides to break entirely down of this support right here, then it will drag every single alt down with it as well. So you guys need to make entirely sure that you're also following Bitcoin. Now, the only case for VeChain to trend up to where I mentioned up there is if Bitcoin trends up to about the 11,500, 600, 700 ranges and we bounce off of here. So there are many different criterias for us to have to meet. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull up VeChain. I got so many charts, guys. Okay, so that's kind of all I wanted to leave you guys off with. I apologize for a little bit of a long video, but I think 20% gain is worth 20 minutes of your time for a potential. So whatever you guys decide to do, please wait for confirmation, and we will talk in a few hours or tomorrow when this breaks up or breaks down. But please wait for confirmation first, okay? Other than that, have yourselves a great night. I appreciate you guys watching this video. I apologize if I was really professional in this video, okay? It's usually not me. You know, lately I've been very professional, right? I've been trying to be because I don't want to be some immature kid. You guys know what I mean? If I'm doing this for a living, I'm gonna have fun doing it as well, and I'm gonna joke around, of course, but at the same time we do have to maintain some level of professionalism, and we do have to know where to draw the line. So other than that, I really appreciate you guys watching the video. Make sure you also subscribe to me on YouTube and on Twitter as well, and please upvote it. It doesn't cost you guys anything, and it's just you guys letting me know that you love me, and I love you guys as well. Just giving back to the community as well. So have yourselves a great night, and I will maybe see you guys at 68,000 Satoshi. Take it easy now. Bye.